What are the scariest movies of all time? Broadband Choices conducted the Science of Scare project in order to determine the scariest movies by testing subjects' heart rates. They compared subjects' resting heart rates to their heart rates while watching scary movies to determine which movies caused their BPM to spike the most. Today we're going to take a look at the top movies from that list, or in other words, the top 10 scariest movies of all time according to science. Starting our list off at number 10 is Paranormal Activity, the 2007 found footage classic which many people consider to be one of the scariest movies they've ever seen. Science would seem to prove them right, with the average viewer's overall heart rate jumping by 16 beats per minute, with overall spikes of up to 50 beats per minute. Coming in at number 9 is A Quiet Place Part 2, which follows the Abbott family who face the deadly world outside their home, which they must be completely silent in order to avoid getting mauled by blind aliens. The post-apocalyptic horror gem, along with the original film, has gotten rave reviews from audiences, and with a spin-off in Part 3 in the works, there should be plenty more scares down the pipeline. In the number 8 spot is 2022 released Dashcam. Dashcam was not exactly beloved by audiences, with viewers including myself finding it to be more annoying than scary. But the science doesn't lie, with spikes of up to 48 BPM suggesting that there were plenty of scares to go around. If you can get past the less than endearing protagonist and nauseating camera work, Dashcam may just offer enough chills to be worth your time. At number 7 we have It Follows, in which a young woman finds herself being relentlessly followed by a slow-moving death who appears to her as friends, relatives, and strangers. It Follows has the lowest overall spike on this list at 32 BPM, suggesting that it relies more on overall dread rather than typical jump scares. The reviews from audiences were a bit mixed, but I found it to be quite enjoyable. Let me know in the comments what you thought about the film. Coming in at number 6 is the 2017 Argentine flick Terrified. It's probably the least well-known movie on this list, and it's pretty loaded up with scary moments, making this a bit of a hidden gem for horror junkies. I remember one scene in particular with a decomposing boy sitting at the dinner table who may or may not be moving, to be one of the creepiest scenes I've seen in a while. At number 5 is Hereditary, the movie that people love to love and love to hate. It's another film that doesn't rely on jump scares, but instead uses an immensely uncomfortable atmosphere and trusts the audience to notice the scares themselves. Whether you found it to be the scariest movie you've seen in years or a tiresome snooze fest, Hereditary should definitely be checked out at least once by serious horror fans.
Hey, wanna play hide and clap?
Perhaps the least surprising movie to make this list, coming in at number 4, is The Conjuring. This film and its numerous sequels and spin-offs have been terrifying viewers more than any other franchise in the last decade. Director James Wan is a master of building up our anticipation till we are gripping our seats with white knuckles. I'm curious to know what you think. Is the original Conjuring the scariest movie of the franchise, or is it one of the sequels and spin-offs like Annabelle or The Nun? If you find yourself searching endlessly for good movies to watch, why not let me do the work for you? I scour streaming services every week to find the best of the best in every genre, so make sure to hit the subscribe button and enjoy the best that cinema has to offer.
Get the hell away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me!
Cracking our top 3 is another James Wan flick starring Patrick Wilson. This time it's Insidious. Although never quite as popular as The Conjuring, Insidious proves to be the scarier film, if ever so slightly, topping The Conjuring by a whopping 1 beat per minute. But Insidious has the biggest jump scare of any film, spiking heart rates by a shock-inducing 69 beats per minute. Want to see that jump scare?
I can still hear that voice.
Yeah, it's not quite as scary when you know it's coming. Coming in at number 2 is Sinister. Sinister took the #1 spot on the 2020 edition of the Science of Scares list. By the way, have you guessed what the #1 movie on the 2022 list is gonna be? As for Sinister, the thing I remember the most about this movie is everybody coming back from the theaters saying it was one of the scariest movies ever. Well, science seems to have proved them right, as the #1 movie on this list was released many years later. By far the scariest part of Sinister were those snuff films that were pretty hard to get out of your head after seeing. And the #1 movie on our list is...
Nothing, it's just boxes. Things there, it's fine. Get around, go back.
Taking the top spot on the scariest movies of all time list is 2020 found footage Scarefest Host. Created during the COVID-19 pandemic entirely through Zoom calls, Host proves that you don't need a big budget to create an ingenious horror flick, raising viewers' heart rates by an average of 24 BPMs with spikes of up to 66 BPM. The film is the most consistently scary movie of them all, that may be helped by its short runtime, which is less than an hour, leaving little room for boring parts and more room for scares. What did you think about Host? Is it truly the scariest movie ever? Let me know what you think in the comments below. There's some classics that made the top 25, so make sure to check out the Science of Scares full list with the link in the description. And if you want to see the scariest movies on Netflix, make sure to click on the video you see here. That's it for today, everybody. See you soon.